Greetings and welcome back to Drassier TMD. My name is Drassier and you're watching Space Engineers Survival. Well, that's right, today it is early in the morning again, if you can't tell by the sound of my voice, because that's what happens in the morning for some reason. It sounds super deep. I don't know why, but I like it. Anyway, so as you can see, I have been working on some stuff. This is what the tank used to look like on this side. This side I haven't changed, just to give you a comparison. But this is what I have been doing to change it. I have decided to make the entire thing one solid piece. The wheels are actually midway, they're usually further down so I can lift it up. So this is as high as the suspension will go. Hopefully that won't interfere too much with the side here. I'm going to be basically doubling the amount of firepower this thing has. Bring this line back around to sort of meet here and kind of do the same on the other side. I might even extend the back outwards a little bit to make it look more like what I'm trying to design it as, which is in fact what I was suggested as a name. The Harmonia Axis Iridis. Something like that. It's a Latin word that I can't pronounce apparently. I think it's Axiridis. And it's the larval state of the Asian ladybug or lady beetle or whatever it's called. So yeah, that's what I'm doing. That's what it ended up looking like. So that's what I'm kind of redesigning it as, with a more solid frame, since this, having these 2 points here, where if the armor deforms, it'll break these, which I think is what happened. Whoa, my goodness! Which is I think what happened to this side here. One side had basically broken, even though the armor was still there. Is there still? Oh, there's a battery still broken. That's okay. I also don't like the fact that the batteries are like a main focal point of where this is connected, which is why I added these, but we'll worry about that another day. So yeah, the Axis Iridis is getting a redesign. That's going to be its official name now. This I originally was going to call the Lunar Mons, because I had planned to take it to the moon. Sorry, not to the moon, to the mountains where the moon launch was planned to be. Let's see if we can find that signal. Moon launch, so that's 100-something kilometers away. That's a good distance, and that's over mountainous terrain. I have done a little bit of scouting, and actually if I go in a sort of a that-way direction, I will stick mostly with better terrain for something like this, even though this has got the capability of going over a bit rougher terrain because of the way the wheels are set up. It's much more like a tank than it is a standard vehicle. It's got multiple tread lines, in fact. I'm not sure how many wheels it would have on the ground at one time. Let's go ahead and count with Drassier. 1, 2, That's actually count. Is it just the count? I'm not quite sure. Sesame Street, look at that. If you haven't ever watched Sesame Street, again, you're missing out. Please go watch that. Relive your childhood. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times 4 is 20. Woo. That was not complicated mathematics, but it took me a moment. There was an audible pause. And by when I say audible, it was actually technically inaudible because I didn't say anything for a moment or two. So you can see here I've got the containers higher up. I'm not going to put 8 on here. 8 is a ridiculous number. That's way too many for what I'm using this for. I can move the other one up once I'm ready to do so. Oh no, it's actually in the right place. Never mind, so these are actually in the right place. I just have to fill these out. I've moved, again, the refineries to be further over the wheels so that it's not leaning over the back. The assemblers I've left in the same place. I've added thrusters to the back just in case I need a bit of a boost. There were already thrusters on the front for braking purposes. So it should give us the power we need to move this thing if it does get a bit heavy. I've got hydrogen tanks embedded down here. This is going to be our fuel reserve. plus a couple of hydrogen engines for power. I may add more of those as we go. There is some H2O2 generators which will help to generate hydrogen fuel if we need to on the road, though that does take up a bit of power. I'm still not quite sure what the power to what the switchover is, because converting ice into hydrogen takes a lot of power. Does it take more power than that hydrogen can then generate? If it does that give you diminished returns? I don't know. I'm honestly not sure. What is that? Another scutter. But I did add batteries, so these are going to be charging up regardless. We're going to have 10 batteries total, so we'll have a lot of power there ready to go. If I ever get to a point where I can create a reactor, I would probably put a reactor on something like this, because it just makes sense, and it would probably end up... I couldn't really go here, could it? I suppose I could move those over. Yeah, it would probably end up... I'd have to move these over and put it at the back here somewhere. I just don't like having it too far back, because I don't want it to all be weighing too much at the back. Anyway, so that's the progress that's been made on... Oh, that's right, I was going to call it the... Ooh, I can't remember now. I'm going to have to look that up. In fact, it might be even on the pistons, because I think I named it on the pistons. It began with V. It began with V. Viatorum. The Viatorum, and I'm not quite sure what that means. Oh, Traveller. It's Latin for traveller. So yeah, I'm on a bit of a Latin kick. So since the tank had a Latin name, I was like, ooh, I like the sound of a Latin name for that one too. So my plans for today are to build some more of the Axaridus, to try and get some more done on the Viatorum. One of the other things I can do, once I get the Axaridus sorted out, we may take it on a little drive toward, I think it was over that direction, towards the Sweet Loots, and take some revenge against the one that kind of broke us that last time. There are no missiles to worry about. I don't have any missiles on here either at the moment, because I decided to take them off in favor of Gatling guns. But we will go and poke that base that trounced us last time, because that was kind of annoying. I thought I had that one in the bag, but apparently I didn't have enough of a heavy hitter to deal with it. So yeah, that's what I'm going to do today. I'm going to modify this, and we're going to go smack that thing in the face. I won't make you watch all of that, because you can see what I've done here, and you can see what I've got to change. I'll go ahead and do that, and we'll go from there. Alrighty, so in the midst of getting this stuff redone, here's what I've been doing. You'll see that obviously this looks more or less like what it did before. I've simply moved the prow out a little bit further. I've kind of rounded out the front here. Port? No. Starboard side has been redone and is more or less matching this side. I have plans in the back to taper it down to a point that actually comes back a little bit. Maybe add a hydrogen tank. I'm not sure about that. We'll see. And then yeah, just kind of fill it out and make it look as much like it used to as I can, whilst also making it more like what I want it to be, which is more insectile and a bit more like its namesake is basically what I'm going for. So yeah, I shall continue there we go, building this up, and hopefully be ready to go very shortly. Okay, so got a little bit carried away. I meant to show you a lot more steps as I went on, but I obviously didn't, because I'm an idiot, and I didn't even record it because, yes, I'm still an idiot. Okay, so we're going to do a bit of a show and tell, just because. So here we are in the forward section of the Axaridus, and I've installed a medical bay at the front, just out of the way, so if I have to bail and die and happen to be able to be brought back, it's here just in case. It's about the only place it would fit properly. Oh, it appears that this battery still isn't fixed, but we'll worry about that later. Oh, and this one needs to be fixed as well. But problems for another time. The hydrogen engines I installed just to have something to power us in case we need it. I have a bit of an obsession these days with using hydrogen fuel. I think it's kind of fun, rather than just using straight battery power, though that is pretty awesome too. Hydrogen tank, man, forgot the word there. Hydrogen tank, that's where the fuel sits at the back. Hopefully it doesn't get shot. A couple of thrusters to give us an extra boost if we need it. At the front I have also added a couple more thrusters just because I want to be able to brake. This thing is pretty heavy now. I mean, it was heavy to begin with, but it's, well, I suppose it's about the same weight it was before. Okay, so here we go. Ta-da! So I decided to colour this one. Very, very simple. It's black-ish, dark grey, with these orange highlights. Now, one of the things I couldn't do is I couldn't actually colour these. I'll show you what I mean. If I go to the colour I selected for this and go to a block to colour it, look at that. I can't because there's blocks in the way. Even though I can see it blatantly, this whole section is capped off and I can't get to it. And I want to colour these 2 blocks here, so there's kind of like 4 blocks here that leads down into this sort of stripe, and this is actually the colouring of the Axyridus. It's the Asian lady beetle lava state, and I wanted to colour it accordingly, and I can't because the blocks are in the way. Now what could I do? I could dismantle the gun turret and put it back after the fact, but I wanted to showcase a mod that I had added ages ago and have never actually gotten to use. This is the paint gun mod, which is one of the cooler mods that are available for Space Engineers, and it's definitely one of those ones that if I could pick particular mods to go into the vanilla game, this would be on that list. It's such a good mod. Look at that. You point at the block you're wanting, and it's pointing at the block through these ones, and boom, it's coloured. Isn't that amazing? That is quite possibly one of my favourite mods, and actually I think this will have to be coloured as well to kind of, yeah, just to lead into there. Okay, and so that's what I'm doing. I'm using the mod here to colour, and I love the way too that you actually have to hold it down for a little while in order for it to colour properly, because otherwise it'll just sit there and not finish. Now, should I also include these? You know what? Why not? Whoops. I wasn't actually near enough to it. That's also cool. You have to be next to it. It's not like something you can just do from a distance. Makes sense, because how could you paint something that you're not near? Okay, so that kind of stripes down there, leads into this direction, and comes down here. Perfect. And so that's also why the guns are arranged the way they are, because that's kind of what the little spiny things look like on that particular beetle lava. That's not how it was designed originally, that's just how it kind of looked, and it was Daniel Nagel, I believe, who suggested the name, which is what brought me to the design. So, strictly speaking, Daniel Nagel, this one's dedicated to you. I'm just very pleased with how this one turned out, and I wouldn't have thought of it if not for that suggestion, so credit where credit is due. Okay. Now, this thing is not complete. If we look down underneath here, we'll see that some of these pipes are exposed. There's blocks that could be filled in here. There's this whole section at the back where the hydrogen engine is exposed. This isn't even connected to anything at the top here, etc. However, I have been at this for hours. I had to stop doing this for a little while to work on something else. I actually did some more of this machine. As you can see, I actually filled out the cargo containers. I put some windows at the top here. I'm trying to make this one much less of an engine of war and much more of I wouldn't say a pleasure vehicle, but certainly one that's not supposed to be for battle specifically. It can defend itself, that's the point of the guns here, but it's actually supposed to be more of an explorer and or mobile base. So Its purpose isn't to fight, its purpose is to sort of roll around and bring stuff to a new location. That's what it's for. This, however, is a weapon. Ow! It is certainly a weapon, it just hurt me. Of destruction. This back part is a little bit more embellished than it needs to be. I could actually put this back a little bit, but it makes the end stubby, and the way the lava looks, I decided to make it a little bit longer. If it ends up being too weighty or just getting in the way, because I can imagine myself going up a hill, and like it bottoming out at the bottom here, and the first thing to go, unfortunately, is going to be this this hydrogen tank. So we'll see how it goes. It's a prototype, and yeah. Now, it's loaded up. It's ready to go. I have quite a lot of ammo this time, and so I'm going to hop into my monster of a creation. I'm going to leave the battery broken because why not? As I told you, we're going to be heading towards Sweet Loots. Just going to go ahead and pull away here. So it looks like oh, that's a good point, actually. I wonder if the thrusters make a huge difference. So that's kind of the thing I'm going to do next. I'm going to put some stuff on the hotbar. I won't make you watch it. And then we'll do some tests before we actually roll out. We're heading towards Sweet Loots, so we want to head off in this way direction. Now, currently the thrusters are on, so let's go ahead and turn those off and hit the brakes. We stop pretty quickly. Then, if we go forward, we actually accelerate pretty well without the thrusters. But then, if I get up to speed-ish, and then hit the thrusters on, we're going to start slowing down all by itself. Basically, they're over-firing because I'm not doing anything, but if I hit the brakes, boom, we stop pretty quickly. I'm going to go ahead and turn the thrusters off for the minute. I'll turn them on and off as I need them. They're going to be mostly for trying to climb hills, if I need a bit of extra power. And also for stopping if I need to brake very quickly. I really hope I've got everything I need. Let's turn the weapons off for the minute, just in case we happen to roll by some stuff. Okay, so I'm going to kind of roll up this hill and to the right, and hope that I don't bottom out. This is what I'm worried about the most. Like that. Like that, exactly. Okay, thrusters on. Well, this has been a resounding success. One of the things I also just realized that I don't have, this is probably not the best time to get out while I'm beached. So I've got 1, 2 wheels off the ground. 2 wheels off the ground, that's not good for such a weighty craft. And so that basically obliterated, let's check the damage here, that broke the connector, obliterated the armor I had here. This was just not a good place for me to come up. Oh, it's one of those sections that looks just fine from a distance, and then you get up and it's not. Okay. So, lessons learned. This thing is heavy. The bottom is definitely going to hit ground if I leave it the way it is. I might have to just bring it back one. It'll be a bit stubbier, but it'll be less weighty, and it will hopefully prevent it from getting destroyed in the future. I might even have to lift the tank up one, but that's going to raise this up as well. I was really hoping for let's go fly a kite. We fly a kite, we come home and everybody's happy, but it's not turning out to be the case. Now let's see if we can back up. Here we go. We're going to turn slightly to the right. We're going to try and go up this way instead. We just need all wheels to be on the ground, but the bottom is just not allowing us to. We're just scraping against the bottom and it's causing huge problems. Okay, so what we're going to do is I'm going to do some field repairs, and by field repairs I mean field modifications. I'm actually going to take this apart and bring the connector all the way down to the hydrogen engine, the hydrogen tank, sorry, and then I'm also going to, but then it's going to actually hit the hydrogen tank, isn't it? And that's what we said we don't want, because that's a lot of hydrogen to lose after how long it took to fill that thing. I could put an undercarriage underneath, that's still going to be the same problem. I also don't have any fuel left. If I keep trying to do that and can't get up into the... Let's try from this side. Okay, that door's open, so I need to up and then just get in the door. And there we go. We are in. We are not going to do any field repairs because I can't do any field repairs whilst my fuel is so low. I'm going to go ahead, back us up, and we're going to abort this mission, unfortunately. I would go ahead and redo this all and try again, but as I've already said, oh no, Tree, I'm so sorry, Tree. Oh, Tree, why? Why did you have to be there? Tree, I'm sorry. So, yeah, a pretty pathetic attempt. I love the way it looks. I love what it's supposed to do. There's possibly... Here, let's try this. Okay, let's not abort just yet. I'm not gonna... Oh, but I need hydrogen. I need hydrogen first. So let me go ahead and just make a quick trip back to the homestead. Fill up on more hydrogen. And then we will try a different approach. We're actually going to go up that... right there. I can't really point to it, but it's directly to the vehicle's right. There's a shallower looking sort of way to go, and we'll try that instead. We're going to go up that, what hopefully will be a shallower, gentler slope, and circle around. It will mean that we'll have to go around a little ways, but hopefully this will be more kind. We're going at 44 meters per second. This is probably not the wisest course of action. Resource processing, that's the one we want, so it's actually off to our right. In fact, we can more or less head over in that direction. Perfect. Okay, I'm glad we didn't just decide... I didn't just decide to stop, because actually we can do this. I think we can manage it. A bomb, and here we go. Let's zoom out just a smidge. I think if I was to redesign this, I would do pretty much what I've done for the base, though I will find that out once I test out how well the base rumbles along the ground, because it would have multiple wheels. There would be so many different points of contact. Oh, this isn't going to be good. And they would have wheels at the front, so that if we encountered something like this, it would be able to roll on the wheels instead of, well, in this case, bottoming out at the back and at the front if it comes down a hill like it just did. Turn into the spin Barbie! Slalom. Serpentine! Serpentine! Oh, dang it. I was about to say that was amazing, but it wasn't. You know what, we're just going to plow right through this one. It's just in the way. Drassier, eco-terrorist. Okay, we are about a kilometer out. We're going to turn, head face on, and I'm going to stop right here. I'm going to hit the brakes. I'm going to take control of the... Oh, it's not on, that's why. Turn the weapons on. Take control of this gun, which should be the forward right, which it is. And this time I've got a bigger gun. And I'm going to take some pot shots at it again and see what happens. Oof. It's twitchy though. Now these are bigger bullets, so potentially if it does get a stray hit, it should do more damage. That's the theory. Can't tell if I've actually hit it or not. Probably have not because we're not in range. Let's try and go for the one on the top and see if we can... Whoops, reloading. I just don't think it's doing anything. I'm trying to sort of aim for the base. Not the base of the turret. Okay, this isn't working. So I'm just going to go like this. I'm going to switch on the defense turrets as well. Handbrake off. Full thrust. Here we go. Probably should have the guns are opening up. I see fire. I'm going to hold here and see we are being shot at. Whoops. Oh no. Oh, okay, guns back on. Return fire. Why did we suddenly just stop? Come on, we gotta keep moving. Come on. Oh, why is the thrusters were off? Okay, I'm watching the number in the bottom there. I'm going to keep going until we get to 800. Then we're going to stop and assess the situation. Oh. Oh no, 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 not without gyros. It's because we don't have gyros. I was actually pressing, hoping to use the gyros. We definitely turned way too fast. Okay. Hold here. I'm pretty sure I took out the antenna because I don't see it anymore. Actually, so much so that I can't even tell where it is. Nope, I see it. Okay. Okay. We are pretty badly damaged. So much so that here. Let's go ahead and stop. Oh, nope. We are being shot at still. Okay. We are being shot at still. I didn't even notice. Thrusters are on. They're trying to fire, but one of them's been damaged. Trouble is I can't see how far away it is now because of the oh, and I think some of the wheels even have been compromised, which is why we're having trouble turning. Okay. Handbrake on. Oh dear, this is not good. I'm going to take this one for its parts, repair this one so I can take a look. There it is. Okay, so it's off in that direction, ahead of us and to my right. I think it's behind a stand of trees. So where are we? This is the front, ahead of us and to my right. Yeah, I think that's the only reason that... Okay. So I'm going to mark this position. Whoops, I don't want to do that. I want to mark this position, GPS. Okay, I'm going to bail out. And I'm going to approach on foot. So forward and slightly to the right. Now, remember what happened last time I did this on foot? That's right, I died. Multiple times. But we've got more trees ahead of us in the way, so hopefully I can dodge and weave. Hopefully I'm in the right direction. Any second now there's going to be some bullets just flying through the air, ready to take me out. Okay. Where did that come from? I can't tell. Ooh. Okay. I think I see where it's coming from now. That stand of trees right there. I need to get to another tree though before I get tagged again, and I don't think there's enough coverage here. Maybe if I can run. Come on. Dodge and weave, dodge and weave. Oh, I'm leaning right into the screen. I'm so tense. So tense. I've lost track of it again. I'm gonna do a slightly cheaty... Oh, there it is. Alright. Okay, I'm in the right direction. Use the tree as cover. Oh, is this working? Oh my gosh! No way! No way. This is gonna suddenly not work any second. Okay, I've got another stand of trees right ahead of me. I gotta make it to those. This is gonna be the tough part right here. Nice thick tree to sit behind. Okay. The question is, where's the gunfire coming from? Oh, it's the big gun! I cannot believe it! So, in all the time that I was shooting, not one of the turrets was able to take out that top turret. Not one. What was it shooting at? All like the power supply and stuff that's behind layers of armor? Man, the AI on that sometimes is just a pain in the backside. Here we go! Run, 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 run. Even closer, even closer. I can't believe this is working. Ouch. Ooh. That thing tagged me good. Crouched. I did it! I tagged it! I'm using the precise rifle. Whoops. I gotta get out of that view. Okay. I want to get closer, but I've got to get there fast in case there's another turret still online. That one's on fire. Man, dare I to think that we may have managed to take down a slightly stronger opponent than the last one? The angle of the sun is really inconvenient. I'm literally looking at it in shadow. There's really nothing else for me to do except try for this. Okay. Here we go. Well, we haven't been shot yet. Oh, there were two large turrets. So some of it did get taken out. Some of the power did get taken out, and of course the oh, I can't think straight now for sure. Some of the, I mean, a lot of the structure was damaged because it was just however many weapons were firing at once. Okay, that top turret is down. Okay, given how much it took to take that out, the turrets must have done something, because otherwise I would have been taken out. Gotta be really careful. That's down. Because if I suddenly hit a zone where there's like a smaller gun, I'm trying to be really cautious. but also not waste like a bunch of fuel. Ah. Please tell me the medical bay is... Yes! Yes! Thank goodness for the Axis Iridis. I am so glad I installed that. I'm right next to the base still. Body location's over there. Let's fly in blindly like a complete moron and see if we can get my body back. I don't have any weapons or anything on me, do I? I have a grinder. Where did that come from? It came from the side. I think it was like up here, but on this other side. Like up here, maybe? I want to get to my body before it despawns, but I know I'm going to get tagged if I go out there. Oof. Yeah, it's up there. Okay. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to approach from this side. We're going to use the grinder that we have. Whoops. Let's see. G. Block. No. Character weapon. No, character tools, sorry. 1, 2, 3. We're going to cut our way through. Haha, I got it. I was able to find the right one. Okay, body location. Let's go grab our stuff before anything else happens. So yeah, this is a game that it's... Again, I'm astonished that Splitsy is able to have stayed alive as long as he has. It's an absolute... I hate to say miracle because it's just a computer game, but it's amazing. Just plenty of planning and forethought. So there was apparently one here, there was one underneath. Gosh, I'm thinking now like any second I'm going to turn a corner there's going to be another one, or worse, there's going to be a unknown signal. No, there's going to be a warhead, like it's already triggered and it's just waiting for a countdown. Oh, there's bound to be one in here. Absolutely guaranteed. Well, let's see what sweet loots we've got. Some silicon, cobalt. Oop, can't take all those. And some iron. Cobalt is nice, but I just mined a whole bunch, so that's less awesome than it was before. Okay. Time to meet our final doom. There's probably going to be one on each side. Let's just scrap. Okay. Oh, maybe there isn't. Maybe everything's been taken out one way or another. Oh gosh! Oh my goodness! That was almost 2 for 2. Okay. That was foolishness on my part, and I'm actually astonished again that... Astonished all the time that I didn't get shot, because it's pointing out in a direction that it could possibly have... Whoops, dampeners. It could possibly have shot out from the base if I got the right angle on it. Ooh, I'm careful of these trees. Oh gosh, like that, exactly like that. Yep. Okay, I think I'm far enough from it now that it can't get me. So I'm going to cut my way through again. Not so tough now, are you? I shouldn't be talking smack. I've still got to get back up into the base so I can get my body, or at least my tools and gear. So I'm going to break down the things that I can that are just sort of sitting out here by themselves, collect up the scrap, and put it away in the containers that they've got lying around, just to have it stored there. And then I'm going to come back with something that will be able to haul all the gear. Yes, that's another thing that I want to build. Yeah. But I won't make you watch this. I'm just tidying up at this point. Okay, I think that's good. I'm going to go find my tank and limp home. I'm afraid the Axis Iridis, I love the way it looks, I love what it does, but I think this one might need another redesign. I mean, 2 large turrets and a couple of interior turrets against 12? Now admittedly they weren't all getting a firing solution at once, and I did kind of stop them to see what was going on. That may have been a mistake. These 3 are still okay. I don't know, it seems like that was a very skewed fight, and of course the wheels not turning isn't helping. Oh, you know what? I probably should get some of those parts and actually repair some of this before I leave, because this is a mess. I need large steel tubes, construction components, and steel plate. In fact, all of the wheels are damaged, and if that's the case, it means that I won't be able to steer. That's probably why it wasn't turning earlier. Small steel tubes. I'm trying to think what else has large steel tubes besides like wheels, and maybe this thing does. Nope, those are small steel. Aha! Maybe this. Nope, those are all small steel as well. I cannot believe it. There's not a single thing on this entire installation. Aha! Perfect. Perfect. Okay. So I'll drop what I don't need. So I'm going to go back downstairs. Whoops, I'm still tilting my head to see, as if I'm in a VR headset. Okay. Let's be around here. There we go. So I want those and those. And I may as well take 100 of those. That should be all I need for that. 48 of those, maybe we'll get 58, and then everything else 32. So hopefully that'll be enough to get me started. I can always roll the tank, the Axis Iridis, over here. Okay, we should have enough. We should have enough. And of course they weren't completely destroyed, so I didn't need the full amount of components. But that should be enough to get us rolling. Not to make a pun or anything. Okay, and I think we'll leave it at that. I was supposed to leave it at that ages ago. I'll head back to base and then we'll deal with the cleanup once I am ready to do so. Where is the base? There's the base to loot. We want those signals over there. Lots and lots of signals. I'll have to clean those up again. So if you enjoyed this video, please hit like, comment, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. You all have a good one, and I'll see you on the other side.